I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch Network. New details to report on Special Counsel Jack Smith's ongoing criminal investigation into Donald Trump's 2020 election interference and Donald Trump's efforts with respect to the January 6th insurrection. We had been reporting over the weekend that a lot of attention's been focused on Arizona, where we learned new details after an exclusive Washington Post report how Donald Trump was engaged in a pressure campaign against former Arizona Governor Doug Ducey to overturn the results of the 2020 election in Arizona, and how Donald Trump was using Vice President Pence, now former Vice President Pence, as a proxy to pressure Doug Ducey, given that Pence used to be a governor and he had a relationship with Doug Ducey. We are learning more details right now about this focus on Arizona, and while there is this focus on Arizona, that's just because there's a lot of new reporting on that. I believe Special Counsel Jack Smith is engaged in similar such efforts across all of the states where Donald Trump engaged in election interference and other unlawful conduct. But what we are learning about right now, reported first by the Arizona Republic, is that Special Counsel Jack Smith issued a subpoena to the Arizona Secretary of State back in May. It's being first reported right now, but this isn't the first time Special Counsel Jack Smith has sent subpoenas in Arizona. This just shows that the progress of Special Counsel Jack Smith's criminal investigation, because back in February, for example, we reported here on the MeidasTouch Network that Special Counsel Jack Smith had sent other subpoenas to top Republicans, former and current, in their House and in their Senate. And for the better part of a year, the Department of Justice has been speaking as well to individuals in the House and Senate who have knowledge and who are witnesses to Donald Trump's election interference. So the fact that Special Counsel Jack Smith submitted this subpoena, or issued this subpoena from the grand jury in May to the Secretary of State's office, what that demonstrates is that it's focusing on remaining issues, not opening up new wholesale information. So as being reported by the Arizona Republic, these new subpoenas issued in May to the Arizona Secretary of State's office sought information relating to two lawsuits, one from Trump's campaign and another from former Arizona Republican Party chairwoman Kelly Ward, that alleged errors and fraud in the 2020 presidential results. These were frivolous lawsuits. These were lawsuits that Donald Trump and Kelly Ward lost, which perpetuated these false facts, false statistics, false information, false declarations, knowingly false data. We've learned more about these subpoenas as well. That the documents from the Secretary of State's office that are also being sought also include exhibits from these filings, as well as communications with opposing attorneys related to the two election-related lawsuits. So all of the communications, all of the informations, exhibits, data, work product, all of the things that underlie those lawsuits. And again, those lawsuits, according to the Arizona Republic article, one case was Donald J. Trump for President Inc. versus Hobbs, which argued that several voters wrongly had their ballots tossed because they overvoted or voted twice in a race with only one choice. A Maricopa County Superior Court judge dismissed the complaint, noting there were not enough ballots in question to alter the outcome of the election. The second case was Ward versus Jackson. That was filed by Kelly Ward, the chairwoman of the Arizona Republican Party. It argued that Maricopa County election workers weren't qualified to verify signatures on mail-in ballots, and that poll observers weren't present when damaged ballots were replicated. There, the court found no evidence of fraud and dismissed the case. The cases were appealed to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court did not take up those cases. Sounds a lot also like the Kari Lake lawsuits. When you think about the lawsuit against Maricopa County, kind of regurgitated allegations found their way into Kari Lake's claims. They just basically regurgitate the same nonsense and election disinformation and election conspiracy According to this Arizona Republic article, although the two cases listed in Jack Smith's new subpoena involved Maricopa County proceedings, the county's attorney civil division chief Tom Liddy said Monday that he was aware of any recent request from Special Counsel Jack Smith because the county previously was subpoenaed for records pertaining to correspondence with Trump, and this goes back to subpoenas, as I mentioned at the outset of this video, that were sent back in February from Special Counsel Jack Smith's office to not just Maricopa County, but also to House of Representatives, Republican officials, Republican Senate officials in Arizona. For example, House Speaker Ben Meiselas said he sat for a several-hour-long interview in Phoenix with one investigator and two FBI agents in March. You'll recall Rusty Bowers, the former House Speaker. He was someone who Donald Trump tried to pressure and threatened. And Rusty Bowers, like as Republican as you come, was labeled a rhino, the Republican House Speaker in Arizona. Guy's like the definition of like a Republican conservative. They all called him a rhino. He received multiple threats. And so information was sought from him. Ben Meiselas, this is what he told the Arizona Republic about his conversations with Jack Smith. They had lots of questions about what happened, who I talked to, and so on. Tom said it was a friendly interview. By the way, Republican. Tom said it was a friendly interview, which he characterized as a, quote, check the box kind of interaction. He added that he doesn't think he was of much help since none of the powers that be tried to contact him to undo the elections the way Donald Trump and Trump's aides did the same thing to Rusty Bowers. And so you had that. Arizona Senate President Warren Peterson, another Republican from Gilbert. Ben Meiselas was a Republican from Glendale, received subpoenas back in February. Senate was asked to turn over documents and text messages and communications. And so you have all of these other Republicans who, and the article goes on to list all these other Republicans in the House and Senate who spoke to Special Counsel Jack Smith. Back to Kelly Ward for a moment. I want to say something about her. So Kelly Ward used to run the Arizona Republican Party. Okay. And you may recall her. She was the one who gave the speech at the Trump rallies saying that she's ultra MAGA. Remember that? And that she's the Orange Mafia. This was the person who is running the Arizona Republican Party. Here's Kelly Ward. Play the clip.
Hey, stand up if you're ultra MAGA! Ultra MAGA! Woo! Hey, I'm a proud member of the Orange Mafia!
And by the way, this is the type of, I don't want to call them even a leader because they're not that, but these are the types of people who are now put in leadership positions in the Republican Party, frankly, across the country. They resemble Kelly Ward in kind of philosophy, conspiracy, Trump cult-like behavior. This is what the Republican Party is becoming. So that's Kelly Ward. Again, she was the head of the Arizona Republican Party. Here, I'll just show you an example. This is the head of, right now, the head of the Republican Party in Michigan, Christina Caramo. Here, let me just play. This is a clip of her. This is who's running the Republican Party in Michigan. Play this clip.
So I was taking my walk this morning and look what I ran across. A vulture eating a possum. As soon as I saw that, you know what I thought about? Us, the American people, as the possum, and the vulture is the globalist political left. And the sad part about it is most people don't realize it because they distract you with a bunch of little stupid stuff like, look at that misogyny, look at that homophobia, look at that racism, the poor people, we're going to help you all. So people are like, oh, they're for the little guys and I'm little, so they're going to help me. It's a distraction. It is a ruse. They're trying to set up a globalist system with one economic, one religious, and one political system for us all to adhere to, and America is in the way. That is why they hate Donald Trump so much. He's getting in the way of their agenda. And they use these foolish little celebrities to sell it to you guys that don't you care about people to stop guns? What is the Second Amendment for? You really trust governments that much to not kill us? Quit being naive. Stalin, Mao, Hitler, okay, Fidel Castro, Che Guevara. Governments have done atrocious things to their people. Are you that naive to think it could never happen here?
Yeah, I just want to show you that, like, what's going on with the Republican Party. Like, it has completely devolved into the just utter cult madness. Fascism meets idiocracy. But again, the fact that Special Counsel Jack Smith is subpoenaing this information from the Secretary of State after prior investigatory efforts, after prior subpoenas, narrowing down on this issue regarding these two lawsuits, shows you that Special Counsel Jack Smith is very focused on narrow issues and narrowing out the issues. I think things are moving very quickly, where I think even faster than we all expected, I think we'll see an indictment of Donald Trump for election interference, as well as many co-conspirators, particularly those involved in the unlawful strategy in the courts, lawyers, a lot of lawyer co-conspirators as well. And I think that's where we're going to see also Special Counsel Jack Smith homed in on. And that's one of the reasons you see this subpoena as well, focusing on those two cases, and also how the cases relate to Trump fundraising, how they would know these cases are BS. They would file a frivolous case knowing they're putting false information for the purpose of raising funds, claiming that they're doing an election defense fund, claiming they're putting this money into litigation when they're actually not, and the money was going to Trump's inner circle, and the money was not going to the places where they thought it was going to. That's where I think Special Counsel Jack Smith's investigating as well. So big update there to report. I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch Network. Hit subscribe. We're on our way to 1.5 million subscribers thanks to your awesome support. Check us out at patreon.com/MeidasTouch. Wherever you get audio podcasts, subscribe to the MeidasTouch podcast. Have an excellent day.
Hey Meidas Mighty, love this report? Continue the conversation by following us on Instagram @MeidasTouch to keep up with the most important news of the day. What are you waiting for? Follow us now.